Hi, folks. Back here again, trying to keep you guys up to date with what's going on here. We are just about a week away from the end of the marking period, which means that students really should be wrapping up the course, or hopefully they've already wrapped up the course by now. So, I want to go through a couple different things here and then preview the next marking period. So, first of all, if you went on Power School and you noticed that there was zeros that were entered for modules 1 and 2, I went in and marked things missing in the Schoology gradebook. And when we transfer that to Power School, it just shows up as a zero. It doesn't say missing, unfortunately, but that's what that means. Coming up after this weekend, so on Monday, I'll be going into Module 3 and Module 4 and doing the same thing. So all of the work for the entire marking period will be graded. There's going to be 2 items that are not graded or potentially not graded, and they're the extra credit ones. The one that says 3 things to be a safe driver and how to change a tire. Both of those items are purely optional. They are just for extra credit. So if someone chooses not to do those, it'll just be left blank. So if you see like a little dash or just nothing in there, these are the 2 assignments where that is perfectly okay. By the way, in my phys ed classes, I randomly did a little survey on whether or not students knew how to change a tire. And I think it was something like 6% of students knew how to do that, which was a little bit alarming. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe discuss that. Most people said that they would just start crying and call home and have whomever's at home do the work. So I guess that's you guys. Anyway, those are the grading expectations here moving forward. So again, on Monday, I'll be going in, and anything that's missing will be marked as a 0. This is where this course gets a little weird. If after Friday, when the marking period is finished, students don't have work completed, they are going to have to finish the work from within these modules before they can move on to the new modules that will appear. So right now, from students' perspectives, all they can see is up through Module 4. If they're still back here on Module 2 and they haven't done this work, they're going to need to do Module 3, Module 4, and then whenever these eventually pop up on their screen, they'd be able to go here 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, etc. Now, as far as grading, I do still go back. And again, if someone's still in Module 2, I'll go back and I will grade it. And they still are not deducted points yet. I guess I'm a softie. I don't know. All right. They'll be graded. Their third marking period score on the report card, it won't be reflected. It'll still show what their grade was with those zeros entered, which might be pretty low. But as they go through and they complete it, all right, when we get to the fourth marking period, I'm able to go in and override that grade and give them their true grade if they completed the work. I know it sounds confusing, and in a perfect world, this would just be a semester-based course, not 2 marking periods. But the way that we currently have it, that's what we do. So again, just to kind of review that, students have to complete this work before they're able to move on to the new work that appears. So let's get into that here a little bit, just some of the things you're going to be seeing. In Module 5, we talk about the natural laws that are kind of occurring, especially in relation to speed and weight. So we talk a little bit about braking distance. I don't know if young people truly understand just how far a vehicle travels when we try to bring it to a stop. And when I see people tailgating this far away from a tractor trailer on Interstate 83, I think to myself, something terrible could happen here. All right, so we really try to get the point across of how much time it takes for you to actually come to a stop. And then the thinking process and the reaction process, all those things kind of add up. And that's what we talk about in these natural laws. Right? It's not just gravity keeping our car down. Basic vehicle maneuvers, talk about parking. is the big one in there, especially parallel parking. Everyone's always worried about parallel parking. There's a great video that's found within that folder that really, in my opinion, helps people learn and understand how to parallel park. This sharing the road talks about, you can see here, dealing with buses, pedestrians, bicycles, large trucks, things of that nature. Situational driving is more, is it city driving? Are we driving in a rural area? All right, different places we may be as we're driving. And then the last module here is going to talk about forms of distracted driving, impaired driving, things of that nature. All right, and this is one that unfortunately we see it quite a bit when we look at the news and things like that. Again, there's going to be an extra credit opportunity. I'll talk more about those things specifically when we get more into those modules. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of a heads up as to what's coming. All right, so again, just to reiterate a few points, all work through Module 4 should be done by Friday. Should be. All right, that's the goal. That's the pacing that we've set up, so that on Saturday the 25th, when that new information loads, they can get started on it. If they don't finish everything by Friday, it's not make or break. They have to go back and they have to do everything in order. Biggest reason we do that, or the reason we do that, is the state says that we have to cover all this information. So we make it that they have to do it to be able to advance. Right? If they don't do it, then unfortunately, they're not going to pass. If you have questions, if you don't understand anything, please let me know. I hope you have a great week. I'll be back.